brand, right? And the legacy. I want to build it that way. And, it's going to continue to evolve some here or there. And, I mentioned Doom and Drone and all that. And I didn't mean it to disparage those styles. I mean, but anyone that knows me knows they're not my go-to. I much prefer like some psychedelic cool stuff, like Black Angels, things like that. But I can never get Black Angels because they won't even bother to message back. Yeah.
Book.
That's always a good.
Looks like we're live. Hey, we could be live. We may be live. This is Sean, and I got John Gist of Planet Desert Rock Weekend. Number 6 is coming up. John, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good.
I feel great about your show today, man.
Is it because you're high?
I thought you meant to type highly regarded.
Yeah, I know.
Journalist, but it just
highly
came out
esteemed.
as high as fuck guy. Yeah, I am. So just to confirm that, I may have smoked a bowl as recently as 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's maybe same here. Who knows?
How are you doing, bud?
Man, I'm doing good. It's
exciting day for you.
Time just continues to move quickly at this age. And God, it seemed like it wasn't that long ago. We were all hanging at, Count's Vamped and Usual Place and partying, with Germ and, and it's Solace and Boss Generator. And
it seems like, it doesn't seem like months ago. It seems like weeks ago for sure.
They were dying at a quicker pace.
Oh.
Yeah.
Time goes by so fast.
Yeah.
It's got to be going by really fast for you now. Like you're in the final stages of launching Planet Desert Rock 6. You're in the last quarter there. You got 3 months. You got changes today. You had massive additions, ones that I am particularly absolutely excited about. So you want to talk about Spaceslug, and Blackwater Rising?
Yeah, I'll give some insight into people that are curious about festivals and other people that maybe do festivals, whatever. I mean, we're all just a big collection. I really wanted to kind of finalize the lineup today. So
should I get that?
When I found out in the last week that 2 bands for various reasons couldn't make it, here we are. So with a net of 0 announced today, but hey.
No, it's a plus, bud. I honestly,
tell me that.
Spaceslug is one of my favorite bands in the genre, one of my favorite bands, period. And I mean, they're the whole reason I know you. You announced Spaceslug a couple of years ago, and I immediately bought tickets. Like within 5 minutes after your announcement, I believe that I pulled it, or at least that I saw the announcement, I pulled the trigger on tickets. And so for me, that's only going to be their 3rd U.S. appearance ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's I feel great that we're able to get them to come back. We like to maintain a good relationship with bands that have played in the past, consider like a Planet Desert Rock family. And I think Spaceslug is just a very unique band. And they're going to be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Lemoness, which is an album for many. It was like their breakthrough for their,
huge for me. Huge for me.
Lander on there and everything else.
When they played Proton Lander at your last show, I looked at Andrea and I was like, well, that's like, I've lived. Anything can happen tonight now. Like, yeah. Fantastic.
I'm looking forward to that lengthy and killer adventure of a song. So yeah, bringing them back, it's special. I'm happy to have them. I think we have a lot of fans who they sat on the bench when they came last time and didn't make it. And then, of course, the New York clan.
They got lucky. You got lucky, New York.
Well, because they fired so hard on the Desert Fest New York. Like, you got to bring them. Like, Bill Curls, all these guys are like,
I know.
And
Brian Carlix of the world.
So next, they're at Desert Fest New York. But, I mean, they're not going on a tour. And so,
right.
That's part of why Planet Desert Rock. I mean, we don't just book bands and, for these festivals from way overseas to plant a flag and then do a tour. That does happen, and that will in 2027 with at least 2 to 3 bands already loosely agreed to, we'll say.
Perfect.
But
Awesome.
with Spaceslug, it's not a tour. So people are like, "Hey, I hope you come down to Florida." And it's like, come on, man. Like,
You guys,
like
okay.
dream on.
So John, just briefly. So I started looking into tickets and hotel for Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I live in Denver. We're not that far away, but it's still, we got to jump on a plane. Andrea and I can stay in an absolutely decent place on or off the strip for like a grand total with car, like $700, man. It's
that's
like
perfect.
so reasonable to go to Las Vegas.
Wow.
Like,
That's with the
I mean,
car.
yeah. So you guys, like, this isn't like going to Desert Fest London, you know? I mean,
And you
it's
don't need a
like,
car.
and
That's the thing.
you don't need I'm just like really weird about having a car because I like those dispensaries out on the suburbs, man. I'm sorry,
They're a little
so,
lower priced too, so that's a good idea.
but no, seriously, without a car, you're really looking at reasonable prices for
The hotel
what
rooms
is.
are
It's a fun city, man, and
the
like
hotel rooms are dirt low on Thursday and Sunday. Like
yeah, no. So
well
John,
below 100.
it was the same price for me to book tickets for 2 nights as it was for me to book tickets for 4 nights
Wow.
because of just what you're saying.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, not don't even just come for 2 nights. Come for all 4 nights. Why
No,
not?
you
It's
gotta
like
come for all four.
you got to come for all
Because
four. It would be
final night
crazy
is
not
Space
to.
Slug.
Why would you
The
miss
final
that?
night is
Why
Space
would you
Slug.
miss that?
Yeah, they're gonna play probably the last set of the festival, the Swan Dive, which is an amazing venue. It's where I've seen the Melvins, Weed Eater, Dozier, the Abrams Dozier, Immune Destroys line up there, and it's a room that's like 500 plus. It's right in the heart of the Arts District,
Which
which
is
is great because
amazing. I love the art district.
it's a
Fantastic.
cooler area. For folks that don't realize Vegas is not just the strip and it's not just that gaudy ass Fremont Street. Don't get me wrong. I
It's
would
partly
suggest
that.
staying on Fremont Street at Cortez, maybe a little further down, because you can walk to Usual Place, which is the first 3 nights. But Art Centric is a whole different thing. Swan Dive has got this amazing, big, massive white wall indoors next to the stage. So there's some visual opportunities, whether it's liquid lights or more, just making sure we have stuff going on
Man,
for that
I
day.
so I we went and had lunch with JJ and Sage when the last time we were out for your show down in the art district. And John's right. This isn't like Las Vegas. This is like more like New York or San
It's just
Francisco.
like a cool little part of town
It's like
in
it's
some
super
city.
cool. Like we went to art galleries and ate in really nice restaurants, and there wasn't slot machines. It wasn't the usual Vegas hubbub. So I am stoked that you're having at least one of the nights down
Yeah.
in the art district. That'll be great for
I
people. I
was
mean,
really
stoked.
I, I was really happy that Swan Dive wanted to do it. Last year at one time I was going to do it there, or this year I should say. I was going to do it there after the other place canceled on me. They closed. That was in the Arts District. But,
That's right.
I talked to Vamped and, we already kind of had some things going there and they supply like, most of the back line, almost everything there. So it was like insane. So I did it there. But this time when I hit them up, they were like, yeah, we talked the terms. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And they were like happy. They moved something off their schedule to do it because they know that our crowd comes ready
Yeah.
to stay for 6 hours plus and drink, you know what I mean? And hang
Yeah.
out. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand about our little festival. I say little, I mean, it's not tiny or anything.
John,
People come and they spend money and they have a good time there. And
yes.
bands do really well because of the merchandise and everything else people are purchasing.
So, John, your fest, like, is it really a little fest anymore? Because I'm looking at the festival world out there and like you got Ripple Fest, Texas, which is still just like the most amazing event.
Yep.
But Desert Fest in New York is taking a break, and Maryland Doom Fest is on a hiatus. So if we're
Oh, they're
hoping
dead.
it's
They
just,
put out
we're
gone.
just hoping it's a hiatus, John, but they could be dead. Yeah. And John, so really that leaves like,
There's a
I mean,
new
they're
one.
having the Mojave experience. Sounds fantastic. But John, your festival really is one of the main events of the scene right now. Your ability to get European bands here is pretty unique, and it makes your show different. How do you get the bands to come from? How do
I
you
don't
make that
know.
happen?
I don't know. You know, I think I take chances on bands that a lot of people don't know, quite frankly. So you look at bands like Kaiser or Saturna or Paralyzed Light, and you look at how many followers, how many Spotify listeners. It's not a ton, really, or
Right.
Isaac, whoever. So, but I guess through my methodical obsession of listening to this music, there's some bands to me rise up and are bigger and better than maybe they're getting the recognition for. And you know, I feel good about them live as well because live performance is important. That you can actually sing live and
Yeah,
not be produced. You know what I mean?
for
As much.
sure,
And tenor singing
absolutely.
isn't necessarily something to worry about.
No, no,
So
but man, that makes a difference, like, seeing, like, a band like Sergeant Thunderhoof last year, like, the sound guy at the usual place just nailed it, and it was so good to go to a live show in a small room and actually be able to really hear and enjoy the vocals, and I know that's important to you.
yeah, I mean, even if you think about Germ,
God,
that's
that
it.
was a great set.
I mean, those
Jeez.
two guys, yeah. I was blown away by Saturna when they played Planet Desert Rock 2. And I have a recording or two of some of their songs, like bits of it. And there's one where it's lower a register and it's kind of calmer part of the song, and then bam, it's like silence, and he kicks it in, and James Vieco has power in his voice, and that's something not all vocalists are seeing, not many. How about
No,
that?
it's true,
A
it's
power
true.
that can push something that actually sounds good.
We have lost John due to
No,
s
you
oh, there
haven't. I'm back.
we got John back, alright, cool.
Just a quick
John
recap.
had a meteor actually strike his apartment there,
It's my
but
hands
he
just will not
recovered
stop
quickly.
moving. Vocals matters to me. I mean, I think. Listen, reality is I don't want to be like every other festival. I don't want us to be. And we're going to morph and shift in different directions. And there's nothing wrong with what the other festivals are doing from a diversity standpoint of what
Right.
bands and all that and styles. I really have a vision of more leaning in a direction where make sure we pay homage to rock and roll.
You do,
Because
absolutely.
I think really good stoner rock and heavy rock is connected with hard rock and it's connected with classic rock. And that's why I'm really excited, about bands like Dirty Streets. Yeah, Paralyzed is like the Doors, but with
Yeah, I really
amazing
liked
guitar. You know what I mean? A guitar is allowed to rip,
okay,
and not be just dominated by
the
keyboards or in Jim Morrison. You know what I mean?
the the 2 bands I geeked out on this afternoon before, we got on were Westing,
Oh,
and, I listened to oh my gosh, I listened to, well, Westing, let's talk about Blackwater Rising.
yeah.
Yeah. So, man, Westing for me, like, so these 2 bands really kinda encapsulate what you're talking about there. They really capture a lot of that '70s hard rock feel for me.
Well, I mean,
Good, like, I mean, it's still modern, but, like, definitely, you feel the roots, right?
Westing is without a doubt a 70s influenced band. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
let's
Oh, yeah. It
Led
was
Zeppelin
and
is
so
on their mind
And
some,
there's some
and
Pink
that's
Floyd
okay.
running through there, and there was, like, really I so it's the first time I really listened to Westing was this
Well,
afternoon, and I
it's slow season,
really
right?
what's that?
They're the band Slow Season.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, 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 sorry. Speaking of slow, I was having a slow moment there. Alright, yeah, man, like, that album, I will be playing it quite a bit. I am super stoked to see those guys.
Dig in to their Slow Season albums are good, and that stuff's gonna be played. It's not just one album. That was just a brand change, is all they kind of did from
Okay.
Slow Season to that. So there will be a Slow Season songs played. And
Sweet, I'll dig deep.
Blackwater Rising, I just think is riff rocking, hard, heavy rock. That's what it is.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of like maybe like the kind of band like Solace was last year, coming in and just like fucking ripping people's faces off with just
Sure.
good. Yeah, man. I'm super excited to see those guys.
Yeah, real good. I'll tell people, I know Rob and this gang well. They played my second one also. Rob's a great singer and songwriter. Recently, we had him on the Heavy Galaxy show. This guy knows how to come up with things, right? And vocal melodies included. And his lyrics are smart, very smart.
That
Like if you got, you can hear his lyrics. You know what I mean? That's something that's missed a lot of times by various parts of our scene or rock music in general
for sure.
is lyrics. Dirty Streets, you're going to hear clear vocals, and that's kind of a classic rock tinge band with a little bit of southern rock mixed in there. I mean, they are from Memphis. And speaking of Memphis, Heavy Eyes, which almost never plays in America. I mean, they played Ripple Fest last year, and they played Planet Desert Rock in 2019 or 2018. And they played a couple other things, but they're not going on tour.
Yeah.
And they really have what I call the rock and groove. They're kind of bands you can get your feet and you're moving and your butt moving. Same with Dirty Streets, really. And so I like music that can, kind of translate into our feelings that with our body as well. And I think women like it as well. The feeling to dance and move. If you ever go out to dance floor, you'll see way more girls than guys, unless you're at a gay club.
I love it, man. That was the bowl earlier, but you know what? Man, we went and saw Hippie Death Cult the other night, John.
Yeah.
Literally a 50-50 ratio. Like I've never seen anything like it. They were touring with some band called Thunder Pussy, which we stayed for part of their set. They were good, but it was like an all-girl band. I don't know anything about them, but they put on a decent set. And but man, it was like, yeah, it was fun. It was super encouraging. Andrea's like, it's nice to like just go to another sausage party.
Yeah, that's the way.
Man, I like that, and I think that's cool. And I think like, I think there's like, I think our music is becoming. I think there's more women listening to this music over the last couple of years. It's been awesome.
I'm not buying the hype anymore. I'm not buying the hype. I've watched this shit close for a long time. We've always had a ton of women in the scene, but it's elevated in the last 3-4 years because they just have. We'll just put it
I think there's a lot of factors, and I think one of them is probably the most obvious factor is like people got cooped up in their houses for a couple of years, and they're finally used to going back out. And I think people are finally more comfortable going back out. I think more people are going back. At least that's my perception. I don't have any stats to back it up, but we saw Hippie Death Cult, and the club was like fucking packed. It was great, and like people were there, and that was on a Friday night in a pretty small, which helps obviously. But we saw the week before, we saw the Atomic Bitchwax, a band you may be familiar with, John. Maybe they're playing your show. I don't know. Hell yeah, they are. But we saw them on a Sunday night to also a pretty nice crowd in Denver for a Sunday night. It was like twice the people I would normally see on a Sunday night. They had some great local support, but in Crowbot, I don't know anything about Crowbot except they were fucking entertaining as hell to watch. I absolutely love their set. So yeah.
There's zero doubt. At some point in time, they'll be over to play Planet Desert Rock. I know. I've known
that would be amazing.
I've known him for a good while, Brandon, through various things. We've hung out and talked.
Is he the lead singer?
Yeah.
He's so much energy.
And can move.
Yes, absolutely.
He can be kitschy. He's a great front man, and they write good songs. They've gained some popularity. They kind of elevated a little out of the scene, which helps with various other things. I mean, they've gone on tour with some big bands, so I love them. But talk about the ladies. So I have at least 3 ladies playing Planet Desert Rock this year. The band, The Well, Lisa Alley is co-vocalist and bassist, of course, of them, and their band I've had an eye on for a while. They're one of the first ones I asked to do it. This upcoming one, I've had the pleasure of meeting them over the span of, 5-6 years or whatever, and they played one of my shows like last year. So yeah, I'm really happy to have her and the guys over.
Cool.
Paralyzed as a
Yep.
female guitarist slash keyboards, which
Yeah, I was
not
gonna
sure
say
how
she's
that
like
all that
does
works.
some synth work and stuff.
Yeah.
God, dude, I love that album. I love Paralyzed Last Album. I absolutely love it.
Oh God, I like all the albums, but the last one is great. One of my albums of the year, as well as Kaiser, who's going to be coming, and as well as Bone Church. All those are going to be in my top, 10. That's pretty automatic at this point in time.
Love,
Yeah.
gotta love that. Well, John, let me ask you this. You mentioned Saturna earlier. So you're this magician guy who pulls things together. Are you going to pull Isaiah Mitchell over here and do a couple of songs by the Elven?
I hadn't even. Every once in a while that pops in my head, but I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I put that thought in your head. No, I'm just kidding. I'll see
Isaiah's
Saturna
not cheap.
without him.
Isaiah's not cheap, but I
I know.
haven't passed. I haven't passed that by with James either. It takes coordination and stuff with that. I mean, hey, listen, I think Isaiah is the best guitarist in the world. I
Yeah,
don't
me
make
too.
any
Me too.
secret. There's no, you know what I mean? He's just
Yeah,
my
same.
guy. I think he's the best. And I would love to have him involved at some point in time. Hell, I've tried to bag him a few times.
Sure.
I wanted to do a night called Isaiah Mitchell does Golden Void. But anyways,
Right.
let's keep that secret.
All right, cool. We won't tell anybody that
No one's listening.
like it's no one's even watching. I know. Hey, all you guys watching, I know you're going to keep it quiet too.
No one's listening. And it won't happen
No.
anyways.
So here we go, John. Here's who's listening. We got Valerie's listening out there. I got Zeth. Woo, Zeth, my partner, the drummer from Luna Soul. I got Jason. Jason puts on the Grand Rapids Doom Fest. I got Fuzz Dog out there. I think he's coming down to your show. We got Debbie Lee and Adam from Black Sunrise, and we got that's all the people I can see on the list right now.
Cool.
Yeah,
What
dude,
bands are you looking most forward to?
Well, so I'm like, the Atomic Bitchwax is the first band that Andrea and I ever went and saw together. So like those guys are pretty special to me. I mean, they're super romantic. We dance to them every night. But seriously, man, I'm kidding. High energy, kick-ass band. I love the Atomic Bitchwax. But I will tell you, for me, I picked up Throttle Rod's debut album on CD a couple months ago, and that lives. If it's not in my car, it's in Andrea's car, and I can't get enough of that shit. Freaking love. So I am absolutely stoked about Throttle Rod. For me, that's like, I can't, like, I wasn't aware of Throttle Rod until the last year or so, maybe 2 years. So I was like, and then I love them, and then I'm like, well, geez, there's a band I'll never get to see, except I'll get to see them. So that would be like, I mean, I'm super excited about seeing Phantom. Yeah. I mean, how did like, I'm assuming they're not active. How did you get them to come and play your show?
I just asked.
That's
No, it wasn't that simple. It wasn't that simple, maybe, but I just reached out and said, if you guys ever tempted to play a show, and kind of picked up the conversation from there. Yeah. Sometimes bands care. Sometimes they're
That's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. So they're like, we're just hanging out, and this guy from Vegas calls us, and he's like, why don't you come out and play a show? And so they're like, hell yeah, we'll
not
go
just
through
this guy
all
at
the
this
trouble
point.
of getting the band together, practicing songs.
They like practicing songs. Bands like playing music. I mean, who
do
doesn't like? You're not a musician either, mine, unless you play the ukulele or some weird thing. And
I am the worst guitar player that ever lived.
Most. You gotta love doing the music to be in the scene, and you gotta love supporting the music to be in the scene. We do it for our own personal experiences, which our personal experiences involve other people.
Yes.
And the energy that we all get when we come together and do something. And when we're on our deathbeds or disabled and shitting all over ourselves or whatever, we're not going to be thinking about South Park was so funny as much as, or it was great when I was streaming this one concert. Oh man, you're there and you feel the music, you feel the energy around you. You get a couple of drinks in you if you drink.
Yeah.
You smoke a little weed if you smoke.
Sure,
If you
sure.
don't smoke and you haven't smoked, good time to start with that night. No, I'm joking. And it's just you're around a bunch of like-minded people. You know what I mean? It's a party.
I know what you mean.
And the
Absolutely.
soundtrack is going to be a fun adventure. Well, I hope that's why it's curated a certain way. And I even try to line up each set based on that. And some people really look at the old conventional idea of setting up a night and they think, the final band needs to be the headliner and all this other stuff. I don't look at it that way, particularly if I'm doing 6 bands. The 12 o'clock set may or may not be the headliner. Like Iron Omega's son finished it this year. And your
Yeah,
dumbass walked out. I don't know how.
it was drugs, John.
Yeah, it was drugs.
That's
That's right. It was. Yeah.
it was drugs, and it wasn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna
I
throw
know.
my
I know.
wife. I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna
giving
throw
you a
my
chance.
wife under the bus here, but they were some good drugs.
Next time I'm going to put on a piece of paper, it's going to print out the set times and I'm going to put it in like different bathrooms and stuff so that people see it.
So we can
Because I
schedule
made,
our psychedelic usage more
well, it's not just
appropriately.
that. But I like the band I'm going to probably start out on Sunday, and I'm not telling you this yet,
I'm not listening.
is a band that will be bigger than a couple of the other bands that are playing on Sunday. But I just kind of think you start the party in a certain way at times. I had Samaveo open up the whole festival. Remember that?
I know. It was
These guys
awesome.
are playing all over the world and been around for 25 years. Whatever.
So yeah, so your comments, like I have Jason Doom watching, and he has a couple comments. He's like, the opener's huge. I know we talked about a lot with him. He was like, he really wanted a certain energy and tone set. It's like what you're talking about here. But he says it's amazing what happens when you just ask, like talking about the Spaceslug thing. And
Yeah.
man, the scene is pretty cool like that, like
Spaceslug took more than asking.
I'm assuming it did.
Rod was just a conversation that was like, but yes.
But I'm assuming you have more of a trouble. Your problem lies more with having to tell bands no than having to get bands to say yes. Because I know from my own short experience, like bands like want to play, like you said, they want to play.
Yeah, both are really challenging. Working a deal, to set up a band, it's so important to how the festival and will it continue is how these deals are set up good enough where everyone can win or we're barely losing or whatever the case is. Because I can't lose money. I'm not a person, I don't even make hardly any money in life right now. So it has to be in a direction where everything works out for all of us. There's no room to lose because I lost so much my second year. And Ryan Garney could tell you the same thing with
we talked about it when we did our show.
It's a lot of money, and you keep that in mind. And it stings. And you're like, so I've had to say no to really big bands that want a lot of money. This is America. And they don't understand that American prices are not even remotely the same as festival prices in Germany or Europe. I had an agent today, or last night, like literally kind of laughed at my offer. I'm like, I had a whole paragraph sent to send her back, and I just stopped and said, you know what? Probably not worth it because she doesn't get it. She's not from this. She doesn't know that
it's not the same rock and roll economy
that does this kind of music has shut down or lost money. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So, you know what I mean? And I pay guarantees. I don't do door deals. So everyone's getting paid. You know what I mean? And they're getting 100% of their merch and all that other shit. So it really is a tough thing along the way. And I don't really count on bands to be the one they're going to pull big crowd either. Because I kind of look at it as a bigger piece of art. But, some bands fuck it. I'll go win some extra. Let's do this.
No, that's interesting what you say there, John, because your show, like, I don't have any problem jumping on a plane and going to your show and seeing bands that I haven't seen before and that I'm not very familiar with, because you've curated this reputation for your show that it's going to be kick-ass rock and roll bands. Just because you haven't necessarily heard of, Jason Walker doesn't mean you're not going to stand there with your mouth fucking hanging open. Like, how the fuck does not everybody in the world know about this guy, right? So
you know about everything.
So do you think you've developed some confidence? I mean, you must have. Like, do you just feel like before the show started this year, you're like, look, man, I know I can put together a lineup and I know people are going to buy tickets and I know people are going to come, and you go into it with that mindset?
It's getting better. Yeah. I mean, I would say I've always had the confidence in creating something that if people gave it a chance, they would like. And they were like open minded, and they're up for things. And the brand is built itself some based on people and
Yeah.
my consistency maybe of mixing it up because I love. I go to every Ripple Fest. I help them with advertising, everything else. But we're going to be very different festivals in that he's outside. He's in a massive stage, out there and all
Yeah.
that. Sound outside is different, and the weather's different. Like
Yeah.
some people can't handle Texas. You are one of them, brother. And my shows are indoors. I'm in control. You go outside to smoke cigarettes and weed legally. You know what I mean?
Seriously, it's the way you run your show. I don't know. I know some guy who's totally stealing that idea, but like having the shows at night is a great idea for me. I don't necessarily want to be there all day. It's like I'm old, man. It's like hard on my body to be. Ripple Fest is like, man, it's like hiking the Appalachian Trail or something.
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's
it's
that
like
bad,
physical,
personally.
man. It's
I don't think it
physical,
was much. It was only one day. It was really long. So listen,
but
I
but
like Ripple
but
because I
your
get
show,
more bands.
but your show, but yeah, and I love that aspect too. And I had just the greatest time at Ripple Fest when I went. I can't wait to go again. But your show is like my older guy pace, man. I can like go have brunch somewhere and like sleep in, and then go do something during the day, drive out and see the punk rock museum or something, and then
Yeah.
like hit the show around 6 o'clock.
Some people went
You
hiking, Sean. Like
hike
Marlene, a bunch of those
hiking.
guys, they went hiking.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't.
Red Rock
I'm not
Canyon's
doing.
right over here.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going any place to exercise.
I know, but some people do.
But no,
They
but
get high and
seriously,
just
like
walk
the
around. I mean,
Hoover
that's not.
Dam's right there, and you got like that there's
Yeah,
some fire canyon thing I know if
yeah,
I and so and I love the fact that I'm not like I don't have to rush off to the show. I can do some other stuff. And then I can go and I'm really, I have a chance to eat and I feel good when I get to the show. And then the show goes on to a reasonable time into the night in Las Vegas when, I can still go get something to eat when I'm done. But yeah, dude, I love that you do that. I think to me, it's like a big attraction to your festival.
yeah. Thank you, and it's on purpose. With all the bands asking, it'd be so easy to just go. All right, I'll just start the shit at 1 o'clock and add another four
Right.
bands, and everyone's happy. But I think that this year we will do 5 bands on Thursday, and then 5 on Friday, 6 on Saturday, and then back to 5 on Sunday. Sunday may start it a little earlier, but we'll see. I need to map out some things.
That's
Sunday's
cool.
line, it's going to be killers. So some of the people that originally just bought the 3-night thing, you might want to look closely at that 4th night because
Well, I need to
Spaceslug
check to
plan,
see
as
if
I
I have.
mentioned.
I think I have tickets for the whole thing. I will make sure. But yeah, there's like missing
But,
Sunday would just be crazy at this point.
but yeah, it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock, first set time.
The Atomic Bitchwax wanted me to ask you what night they're playing. They really want to nail that down. I'm kidding, dude.
Did
But
they
I'm not.
tell you that? There's an
They were just.
inside thing to that.
Yeah, I know there is. So yeah, we'll just move along.
Yeah. Somebody, not me. In this case, I'm very, very confident I didn't fuck that up. So I was like, when someone told it to me, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Dude, that's
But
hilarious. Man, I am
it's part of
serious.
coordinating things, Sean. I mean,
No, dude, it's so. Yeah, John. Like, I mean,
you said Saturna earlier, but I didn't know where you were going with it. You said something about Saturna.
Oh yeah, we talked about the Elven coming and playing. That's where we went with it. Yeah, that's where we went with that, dude. But you know what? Seriously,
with Saturna?
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But the Elven album is like one of my top 5 albums this year. Like,
good shit, man.
I love that album. And like, I like Todd, if you're listening, repress that, dude, because I'm tired of people wanting to borrow that album when they come to my house. It's like, no, I'm not lending it to you. You need to go buy it, but it's sold out everywhere. So Todd, if we can get a repress on that, or
Well, he's not
whoever's
even the one
doing
that
it.
did the first
Oh, who
press.
did Todd? Okay, sorry, Todd. I don't mean to blame you then. Whoever did it, who did it? Who did it? What was it on? It wasn't on Ripple. You're right.
No, it
I thought
wasn't
it
on
was on
Rebel.
Ripple. Yeah,
I think it
sorry.
could have been, but things
Todd,
just
use your
got
influence. You're a famous author now. Like
sure. Yeah. So
Todd will
I don't
never
know.
talk.
You know
Todd
what I
will
mean?
never talk to me again. All right, sorry, Todd.
Hey, how familiar are you with the Devil and the Almighty Blues?
I'm not familiar. So tell me where should I start with that, because maybe some other people aren't familiar either. Where should we
You
start?
only got really 3 albums and
Okay.
pretty lengthy songs too. So I think you just go on Spotify, go on YouTube, look at the ones that have the most plays. Start there. Um, every single thing I've ever heard about them is that they are an extraordinarily good live band.
Okay.
And I've seen some video too, and yeah, it looks cool. They're kind of like Graveyard a little bit, but maybe not as polished of vocals, but long guitar action. I mean, lengthier songs, but has a little bit of a vintage sound to them as well.
Nice. I
You
love
know,
that.
and they're a band that's never played here. So there's that. And I'm happy that they've, given us a shot and trust in us to take care of them when they're down here and make things happen.
That's
Another
awesome.
band from Europe that's coming over that has a vintage sound is the Quill.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with the Quill either. So give me a quick description of the Quill.
The Quill is, I would say, in some ways, a more vintage version of Blackwater Rising, in that it's hard and heavy rock with very good vocals. I mean, the Quill has very high, they can hit the high notes kind of vocals, and really great guitar work as well. Their last 3 albums or so have all placed in my 3 or 4 albums have placed my top like 10 albums of the year every year. I mean, it's just really good fucking riffing, good rock and roll. We lose track. Everything doesn't have to, fit these certain boxes. The hype make us more excited about something. You know what I mean? Oh, I love the low, slow doom. It's not the doom that I'm really aching for. I'm like, it's fucking rock and roll, man. What's wrong here? You like
No,
both?
no, that's seriously, like we said earlier, that's one of the things I really like about your festival. I love some nice slow doom, and you have some of that with Spaceslug coming.
A little
But
bit. Yep.
a night of that is like, sometimes that's kind of tiring, man. Like, you know what? Like you said, I kind of want to move my butt around a little bit. I want to dance a little bit, and like a full night of droning doom can.
Well, I don't think,
I think, like, at least you got to mix it up a little bit. And I love the bands, like, for exactly what you're talking about, John. Like the bands that you got, like, get people on their feet, man. I love.
yeah, I mean, last year it was night 3, Saturday night at the usual place. And the first band of the night was a high energy band that I'd had before, so I already knew what I had with Green Desert Water.
They were so
Right?
kick ass.
I knew what I
Yeah.
had. And I knew that they're infectious is all get out, as they'd say in the South.
Hell
And
yeah.
I filmed them and people were lined up, to get in the building. And I'm trying to get the owner, like, get your shit together, let's go. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you guys waiting for? They're gonna start drinking. Like, let them in. I do that. I stress out the owners of these places probably a little bit on that, because they're like, we gotta be careful, we gotta make sure. All right, well, they're out there waiting and they're thirsty. You know what I mean? So they all come cattle calling in and run to the bar and all that shit. Man, when Green Desert Water kicked in at, I don't know, 540 or whatever, people are moving and grooving. I took video where I went over to the side right of the stage and I had Marlene O'Neill, who most people that go to these festivals will know her by now.
Yeah.
She stands out a little bit. She's energetic. She's a wild woman. All
We
right.
know who she. I know who she is. Yes.
She's awesome. And
Yes.
she
Yes.
was shaking and moving and grooving. And I got her like in line where I could have her and the singer in the same shot.
Cool.
And I'm going to post that again
Yeah,
because
too.
other people then there were a lot of people just start moving and grooving because it's infectious. You got to let yourself loose. And my goal is to always have the lights lower, not higher. That's something that me and the light, I mean, listen, I like to micromanage my production a little bit. All right. I have a
Well,
vision,
good.
and not everyone else cares. You know what I mean? I
You
like
do
to
care.
trust a good sound guy, and I've had great ones. Good chance I'm going to use the guys from Vamped for Usual Place now that they're gone. And it's
Fucking
two of
good.
them. They kind of work as tandem, and one helps with the staging and all that. So we'll see. But I need the sound, and I got same back line as last year. And I need the sound to be so good and so dialed in and so cared for. It's not easy.
No, and
A real good sound
it's
person.
horribly stressful to think about it, let me tell you. So
You
yeah.
get good people around you and you get good results. It's
Yeah.
always that's always been my mantra, and the way I built, marketing departments back when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. And so it's just you get good people around you that care and are enthusiastic about it, and rest kind of you hope falls in. But there's always curveballs on the way. There's always curveballs.
It's rock and roll, man.
I remember, like I was in the middle of doing something, and someone's like, "Oh, they need to see you at the door." I'm like, "What?" Oh,
So
fuck.
serious, like, so I've been to a couple Planet Tesla Rocks, and like you guys, John is enjoying the show as much as he can because you're working, dude. Like it's like you like John. Sure, like Jason went through the same thing. Ryan goes through it. Um, you you could tell you care about it because it's hard. It's kind of hard for you to enjoy it in a way, isn't it?
The very
Or do you?
first night I ever did it, which was it had a theme to it. It was called A Night with John Garcia. I
Yeah,
did that at
yeah,
Hard
famous
Rock
man.
Casino,
Yeah.
and that night, that whole day was amazingly stressful. Like it was
Oh.
insane. And the hotel, Hard Rock, gave me less hotel rooms they originally told me they were going to, which meant I had people showing to check in, and so I had to go run and give them my card to buy a fucking room, things like that. And so I missed a lot of Nick Oliveri, who, did his acoustic thing, and Arthur C's band, Death and Pretty Rapping, which was really cool. And so I
Arthur's cool.
missed some
Arthur's
of
the
that.
coolest.
And then Luna Soul, I was probably able to finally get in. And then, I get called in the ticket office and multiple times, for God's sake. Everyone wants to get in for fucking free. What? I could really go off, but you get it, people.
Hey, I'm just going to say this really quick. So when you go to one of these festivals or you go to your local show, it's cool to be on the guest list and everything. But you know what, man, these are small bands and like you really need to be supporting them. And like you're not paying the bar or the promoter, man. You're supporting the bands. Like,
Everything
so
needs to be
just
supported.
remember that. Like just like your 20 or 30 or 40 bucks, man, it goes a long way for those bands. And like, so that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, I tell my bands, there is no guest list other than your wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, that kind of little group. Sometimes someone's like, "Oh, my parents are in town," blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
But we're not putting on, like, you're not putting on Ozfest. You're not like charging, you're not putting on that. It's not $600, people. It's like
well, listen,
60.
Listen, Don.
Anyway,
in
all right,
this case, I go over to the ticket booth, and they're like, "Oh, someone's here to see you. He's over there." And so I look over, and the guy's like, "John?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Chris Goss." And I'm like, "Hey!" Because Chris Goss was the producer of the Caius albums. He's basically what made them what they are.
You're like,
He's front man for Masters of Reality, which was, one of my favorite all-time albums. And so I was like, "Oh, hey." And then I go, "Oh, hey." And I gave him a hug, which he's not the most huggable kind of guy, really. So, and then I'm like, "All right, come on." And then I walked him back to the VIP room where Nick and John are already hanging out. I mean, I just sat down one time. I just sat there in a corner, like looking at my phone, just looking around, listening to people. Because I'm with all these people that are involved with Caius, and I loved Caius since 92, 93. So when I finally relaxed at the John Garcia one, someone told me to. Like, just sit still and take it in, man. You did this. It kind of gave me some clarity. I think. And that was kind of cool. And so I've tried to maintain a good buzz, quite frankly, because there isn't a ton of decisions I need to make at that point in time because the venue is the venue and they're really responsible for a lot of what's going on inside the place. So I just try to relax. I don't get blackout drunk or anything,
No, but as an observer,
and I
John,
socialize. I'm the host of the
you are
party.
you are engaged, but you are locked into what's going on, and you notice the little things. And I find it it was very interesting to watch you put on your show, especially the second time after I knew you a little bit. And no, man, I love the fact that you care about it so much, and it comes through in what a great production that it is. So
No, I
we
appreciate
appreciate
it.
that. Yeah.
It's just a good party. Everyone enjoys it. The bands really love it. The bands do really well on merch, and that's obviously very important. And, hey, I do well in merch as well. And every once in a while, I hear someone talk about, oh, you don't want to have too much merch. It takes away from bands. No. Good
No,
product won't take away from anything. They'll buy all of it if it's good. And that's because we're
dude, I
doing it
love
for a
seeing.
reason.
I love going to shows in Denver and seeing your shirt on somebody else. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
man.
yeah, that's cool, man. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and like honestly, as a fan,
Like the
like,
shirt.
yeah, dude, that's the one Andrew has. I love it, and as a fan, like, I love the individual stuff from the bands, obviously
All
too.
the above.
But I want a shirt from the fest. I like
Yeah.
Jason Doom, Jason. Dude, I hope you're watching, man. He sent me the Michigan Doomfest shirt. It's got all the bands on it, and like, even though I didn't get to go
Yeah.
to the show, it's still so
Conversation
badass. Or
piece,
Braun
too.
Dabney's Legalized Lex shirt. I know I got to score one of those this year, and Ripple Fest is always a conversation starter. Yeah, man. So no, I don't. I think, God, it would be disappointing if you didn't have merch. Yeah,
Now you got to have it. I mean, that's the only way you
yeah.
survive. So, I mean, folks, again, I pay bands, so there's money involved. And I pay for backline. I pay, pay, right? And so I can't just worry about ticket sales because we're in America and we're working on getting rock and roll back, but we're hip hop nation and we're nostalgia nation. And so that's a deadly combination. It means the old people and the young people, they're mostly, can be out. And so this merch stuff is what saves my ass.
Yeah. And it's
Period.
quality. John, tell me, like,
And I'm thank God that Joey Riddell from Fuzz Evil,
that's
he's
where
a
I was going.
saint. He's a fucking saint. Is the one who designs these things, and he says he's got some new ones on the way too, which I'm looking forward to. And remember, I never even printed up shirts for the fourth one, and he did these amazing designs. I'm halfway tempted to say, hey, let's just use those. We never got them out, but I'm gonna maybe do a limited print of some of those as well.
I have the one with the beast, the skeleton beast thing, man.
The
Like,
Spaceslug one, probably.
yeah, it is that one. Yeah, yeah. I like how did your relationship with how did you decide that Joe was going to do the art for the fest? Like, how did that come about?
That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, man. Well,
Joey
how
and I
long? Yeah.
have known each other. Joey is in another band. Was in another band besides Fuzz Evil. Him and his brother were in a band called Powered Wig Machine. Check them
Okay.
out. Two, maybe three albums, and they played Planet Desert Rock 1, and they played the night that I had Wofat, Sasquatch, Freedom Hawk, Powered Wig Machine, Black Wolf, Red Desert,
Jeez.
and a local band. But the guy's a dick, so I don't even bring up the name anymore. But yeah. And Joey, I guess during that time was like, hey man, I do art. I'm like, oh, I think I do. And that was it.
Is
like,
art
holy
like
shit.
so when I thought about having art done, just really quickly, man, I was like, I gotta like your show and like what Jason did with Steven, man, like that, like, to me, like, really, like sets kind of a tone for your festival. That artwork is like,
I
I
think it's
think,
pretty
more
pro.
important. It's like more important than people think it is, right? Like,
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's important to me for the reasons I detailed earlier and the pride of being able to look at this artwork and go, and Joey puts little things in there. I forgot what the term is. There's little things there, to figure
yeah,
out as well. I mean, he's a creative guy with a big heart. It's people like him and JJ. I'm like, listen, man, you know, what's your PayPal? You know what I mean? That's what I do. Yeah.
That's all. Hey, man,
What's
I
your
got a question
PayPal? I just wanna yeah. So it takes people in the end.
for
And I
sure.
don't get Easter eggs, Chris said. I don't get a lot of local support here at all. And so
No,
I'm
there's not.
honored that it works out the way it does with such a great crowd of people coming from more states than not. Like we're in 30s now. I mean,
So
that's
here,
crazy.
So, a quick story. When I went to the first Planet Desert Rock weekend, I went to 4. Debbie Lee, I meet her in the parking lot. I recognize her from Facebook. She invites us over, invites us in to sit at the table with her and Scott. And like, you get that family feel like right away. And for a long time, and I've become more connected with the Denver scene over the last year. And it's a great scene. I love the people that I'm meeting. But for a long time, your show felt more like a local show than a Denver show felt to me. Like I knew people there and
Yeah.
I can't wait to go this year. And it's like, I love to see the bands. We've talked about the bands, but John, kind of like you're saying, I can't wait to see my friends there, you know?
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
real nice to see friends. And I go to Ripple Fest every year, so there's at least a
yeah,
certain segment of them that I'm already partying with the Ripple Fest, and then they're over here hanging at my party. They didn't all just automatically jump. It took time to get some of them the jump and give it a try. And there's still these people at Ripple Fest that never come. That are like I talk to and hang out. And I'm like, you should come, and
you gotta check it out. It's Las Vegas. It's so
they
much
just
fun.
come
Hey,
up with all these reasons to put it off. And then of
there's
course there's a
no good
reason.
reason. There's
When
no
you
good
when
reason.
you when you put it off, there becomes a reason later on when the decision's tougher. I mean,
I have a good friend in Denver, and her motto is "You only regret the shows you don't go to." And like, it's like she's right, you know. Hey, I have a question here from Jason. He's like, "How long do you think you should wait to bring bands back that you already had play at your festival?"
do 3 years, but this year,
Yeah, you got Freedom Hawk coming back, and they played like 2
3
years
years
ago,
ago,
but it's fucking Freedom Hawk.
that's it. So that's it.
So yeah,
That's it. Like, the bands that got me into this music, 3 out of 4 of them, I'll tell you, is Sasquatch, Freedom Hawk, and then I always bring up Rival Sons because they're just a band that told me, wow, good rock music is still being made. And so I didn't even know what stoner rock was per se when I discovered all these bands, along with Gozu. And Freedom Hawk has too many good songs not to just go ahead and bring back. And so
yeah,
when I wanted to, and same with Spaceslug, it just felt like we'd already talked a little bit, and I'm just like, fucking, let's get them. Let's do
yeah.
it. Because I got a bunch of stuff already scrawled on a piece on my pad already for 2017, 27. You know,
Yes,
so because some bands you work with and then it won't work out this next year, you go, well, are we thinking maybe the year after that? Yeah, yes, and we built something around it. I'm like, all right, pencil it in.
that kind
It's
of.
maybe it's in pencil,
It's
not pen.
so it's interesting to me. And one of the things I've sort of been discovering, it's like, man, you really have to think long term for this. Like, this isn't like, I think some people think these shows just come together like, man, like, hey, you know what we should do in 2 weeks? We should get a bunch of bands together. Let's like, you're literally planning over a year in advance. Like, you're like, you haven't even done your show for this year and you're already thinking about the next year.
Yeah, I mean the idea is the brand, right? And the legacy. I want to build it that way. And, it's going to continue to evolve some here or there. And, I mentioned like, Doom and Drone and all that. And I didn't mean it to disparage those styles, but anyone that knows me knows they're not my go to. I much prefer like some psychedelic cool stuff, like Black Angels, things like that. But I can never get Black Angels because they won't even bother to message back. You know what I mean? It's not even like, oh, hi, thanks for, you know,
That's tough. Yeah,
it's tough. There are a lot of rejection, Sean.
sure.
This isn't all,
I know, John.
And so when I talk about those other bands, I just know that there's doom and metal and all those things are at a lot of other festivals. They're already there. So maybe I'm more blending in rock music instead, Dirty Streets, Westing, Paralyzed, Heavy Eyes. I mean, they're not by any leaps stoner rock really. And I have a list of other bands, and I just think that good rock music needs to be put together. And that also maybe helps grow some crowd eventually. Blackwater Rising, if you look at their numbers, they're the biggest band playing this thing.
Like,
I mean, go look at their
so
numbers. It's
John,
kind of so do I hope maybe a few people that are from the West Coast and like them enough, maybe they cruise over, but most of them don't know the other bands. That's part of the, yeah. What's that? Sean, you freeze up on me. Sean might be all frozen up. Anyone seeing him, or is it just me? But anyways, I like all the different styles, but I think sometimes our vision can change to a different kind of thing at the same time. So hold on tight for what we got this year, I'd say, because this lineup's going to be, I think, an intriguing ride, to say the least. And we have lost Sean, but am I still live? Anyone got any questions? Throw them out there, and let's see if I can see them and I'll answer them, maybe. Or is this thing still going? Anyone? All right, guys. Well, it looks like he is gone. So we're going to close this up. And thanks for hanging out for an hour with us. And hope to see some of you there. And let's have some fun.
Oh, my God. So John left. Who could blame him? You guys, man, I hope you enjoyed watching the show. I don't know what the hell happened. My computer was like, it's time to reboot. So if you're still watching, I appreciate you guys, man. Definitely get some tickets for Planet Desert Rock Weekend 6. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties there at the end, man. Had a great time talking to John. Hey, man, we'll be back soon. I think we're going to do another show about some other festival coming up. Maybe it's called Hufferfest. Maybe it's in April. Maybe it's in Denver. Maybe you should get some tickets. Maybe you should fly out there and see it. Woo! Hey, man, I appreciate everybody watching, you guys. Love you, man. We'll talk to you soon. I'll try to get this out on YouTube as quickly as possible. All right, you guys, rock on. Thanks, John. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, talk to y'all soon. Bye!
Yeah!